what's interesting is I hear a lot of people saying when speaking about girls' empowerment, finding and knowing their worth.
When you're trying to become successful and while you're pursuing your dreams, there's going to be people around you who are constantly dogging on you and telling you that what you're doing is an absolute waste of time and what you're doing will never work because you're not good enough. Now that's going to suck and that's going to be hard to hear. However, you're going to need to use that as motivation to make the people who are naysaying you and calling you names and saying that whatever you're doing is a waste of time. Prove them wrong. That should be a huge motivating factor in you pursuing your dreams. Not only you wanting to go out there and figure out what it is you truly love and attacking it relentlessly, but you also need to make sure that the haters will be proven wrong. Because that is a huge thing not to listen to.
That I realized the magnitude of my actions at the age of 11.
Because if you start listening to them, they will get in your head and they will unmotivate you and make you feel like everything they're saying is true. And you'll eventually break, and that's what you can't do. You need to stand strong and hold the ground for as long as you can until you get that positive mindset set down. Figuring out that anything anybody says about you just rolls off your back and you keep working hard because you know that one day you will figure it out and it will be worth it in the end because you would finally achieve one of your lifelong dreams by working hard and putting all that time in while everybody else was just sitting on the sidelines watching you, making fun of you. Then you'll be the one that becomes successful and they'll all look up to you one day and be extremely jealous.
That I realized the magnitude of my actions at the age of 11. I had created my small level of impact by standing up for equality. Now, equality means that President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, whose country I recently visited as part of my learning mission with UN Women, it means that he is equal to the little girl at the Gihembe refugee camp who is dreaming about being president one day. Equality means that UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon is equal to the young intern at the UN who is dreaming about shaking his hand. It means that a wife is equal to her husband, a sister to her brother. Not better, not worse. They are equal. UN Women, as you guys know, has defined the year 2030 as the expiration date for gender inequality. And here's what's staggering. The studies show that at the current rate, the elimination of gender inequality won't be possible until 2095. Everyone should be afforded the opportunity to receive education that they want, but more importantly, the education that they have the right to receive. And for women and girls in developing countries, this is vital. Providing them with access to education is the key to economic and social development. Because when girls are given the right tools to succeed, they can create incredible futures, not only for themselves, but for all of those around them. And while progress has been made in many areas across the Commonwealth, there is always scope to offer more opportunities to the next generation of young adults, and specifically to young women. The Association of Commonwealth Universities, which Her Majesty the Queen is patron of, supports universities to promote equality in their own institutions. So I am very pleased to announce today that 2 new grants will be awarded to Fiji National University and the University of South Pacific, allowing each of them to run workshops which empower their female staff. I think that for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact. I think what's interesting is I hear a lot of people saying when speaking about girls' empowerment, finding and knowing their worth, or women's empowerment as well, you'll often hear people say, well, you're helping women find their voices. And I fundamentally disagree with that because women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice, they need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen. And I think right now in the climate that we're seeing with so many campaigns, with Me Too and Time's Up, there is no better time than to really continue to shine a light on women feeling empowered and people really helping to support them, men included in that. It makes such a tremendous difference. So yeah, I guess we wait a couple months. For the past couple weeks, I've been planning on saying a few words to you for your graduation. And as we've all seen over the last week, what is happening in our country and in our state and in our hometown of LA has been absolutely devastating. And I wasn't sure what I could say to you. I wanted to say the right thing, and I was really nervous that I wouldn't, or that it would get picked apart. And I realized the only wrong thing to say is to say nothing, because George Floyd's life mattered, and Breonna Taylor's life mattered, and Philando Castile's life mattered, and Tamir Rice's life mattered, and so did so many other people whose names we know and whose names we do not know. And I was thinking about this moment when I was a sophomore in high school. I was 15, and as you know, sophomore year is the year that we do volunteer work, which is a prerequisite for graduating.
Thank you all so much for watching. Please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.